Alright. Kate, your name?
Taylor.
Taylor. And where were you born, Taylor?
I was born in Oakland, California, like Alameda County area. And then from there I went to Modesto, California. And then I was adopted and brought to Pflugerville, Round Rock area of Texas.
What age was that?
I want to say I was like 7, 8. Yep.
What was your childhood like?
I was raised very highly, like I was really just like, I went to 4 different schools throughout from elementary to high school, and then my parents got divorced when I was like 9, and then my dad got remarried, and things just went really, really sideways. I just completely revolted around everything because someone was taking my dad away, and it was pretty hard.
Did you grow up with your mother as well?
Yeah, so my adopted mom, she's the one that really had a lot to do with me. And then I read one of her diaries and found out she didn't want me from the get-go, my dad did. And then I revolted around her too. Like, I just went and did my own thing whenever I wanted to. Yep.
Were you a good child?
No.
No?
I was not a good child. I treated them like crap because it was really separation anxiety from my birth mom, and then it was just, you guys took me away and I don't want anything to do with you, I hate you, stuff like that. I was a bad kid. I was a very bad kid.
Have you ever thought about finding your biological parents?
I did.
What was that like?
So 2.5 years ago, I want to say, it was like December of 2017 after my daughter was born, some lady messaged me saying that she possibly found my family on Facebook, and I was like, no, you're lying, like this is total BS, I don't want to hear it. And then she got the girl to call me who posted about me, and it turns out she's my sister, and I have 12 other siblings, and my biological father passed away in 2012 of a drug overdose, and then my biological mom, I met her last Christmas, and we got along great, but she doesn't talk to me, you know what I mean? So like whenever she's away she doesn't talk, but whenever she was here she would talk to me. And I think that just has to do with her not being able to be the person that I wanted her to be from the get-go. So she was not a good mom either. So I mean I can respect that. I can understand how she even told me that she couldn't be the mom that she wanted to be, or that I needed her to be. So it was pretty, you know, understanding. I can understand her. Yeah.
So at what age did you decide to go to the streets?
15 years ago I first ran away and became homeless. And then after that, at 17, I ran away with a guy, and I got pregnant, and my parents told me I couldn't come back, and then signed their rights away to CPS.
Wait, okay. So go back to when you're 15. My apologies.
Okay.
So, were things just going bad and you just weren't getting along with your family, so you ran away?
Yeah, so I ran away with my boyfriend at the time, and then we got caught, I want to say like a few days later. The police officers brought us back. We were staying under a bridge by the Walmart on 35, Ben White and 35. Yeah. We were staying over there underneath one of those bridges, and then I went back home. Things just were never the same after that. So then I ran away at 17, got pregnant by my boyfriend at the time, and then they said I couldn't come back, and they put me in a maternity home and then signed their rights away to CPS. This was my adopted parents.
So did you carry the child through?
Yes, I did. She is almost 8 years old now, and she was adopted by a family who took me in after my parents signed their rights away. Yeah, so I haven't really talked to them.
We talked to her?
No. My whole mindset was I won't hurt anymore, and she will be happier without me. And then that's whenever I became homeless, was 6 months after she was born.
How old are you now?
I'm 25, almost 26.
Have you ever thought about wanting to be in her life again, or do you think it'd just be better not to?
Recent events, things that I had just found out about what was going on. I'm actually going towards that route. I had found out some information about her adopted family, and I don't want to get into it. But things happened, and I'm kind of putting my foot in the door with Mississippi law, so I'm kind of like working my way to that because she deserves something better.
Okay. So after you had your child at 17, 18-ish?
She was born a month before my 18th birthday.
1 month before 18th? What happened after that?
So I became homeless, and I went back to Pflugerville with a friend of mine from high school, and we stayed in his car, and that's actually where I got these two tattoos, this one and this one.
In the car?
At the Austin Tattoo Company while we were living in the car. And so after that, he got arrested, his car got towed, his girlfriend went to New York, and then I just like kind of found my way to downtown Austin, and I found a group of people who kind of brought me in and taught me the ways of homelessness. And that's kind of like where it started, I guess you would say.
How would you make your money?
Oh, I would panhandle. I would be on 6th Street asking people for money or holding up a sign. And it was okay, but not, that's whenever they had benches still on 6th Street. And whenever we would sit down on the benches, we'd be asked to move, or sit down on the floor, we'd be asked to move. The police were very persistent on asking us to leave and not panhandle and stuff like that. So it was pretty like really hard to be downtown and homeless, which is why I started traveling. I joined a carnival, and then I just started traveling.
What type of carnival was that?
It was the Crabtree Amusements Carnival. The ones, every so often you'll see them by that Ben White and 35 Walmart. They post up sometimes there, and then they also go to the rodeo. They're the ones that do the rodeo every year.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So panhandling main means, were you able to, of course you're not thriving, but you're able to survive off panhandling?
Yeah, I was able to survive off panhandling. It provided my cigarettes. Every single shelter downtown will provide food, or some people will buy you food, or they will just mostly my money went to cigarettes and drugs.
So when did your journey with drugs and alcohol begin?
Alcohol was never really my thing. It was mainly just methamphetamine. That began at the carnival, actually. So from like 15 and 17 on, you weren't using drugs? Nope, I was not using drugs. I'm sorry.
All good. Cats do that. Yeah. Okay, so the carnival. So about your early 20s at this point?
I was like 19 whenever I joined the carnival. So I joined the carnival, and then someone said, because I tried Coke before. After my first daughter was born, I tried Coke, because I was working at a TA truck stop in, I want to say Odessa, Midland, Odessa area. And so I tried Coke, and then they're like, oh, it's just Coke. So then I snorted it, and I was cleaning up the entire balloon store, and my boss got really angry, and he's like, who gave it to you? And I was like, nobody. And he's like, who gave it to you? And I was like, nobody. But he's like, okay, just whenever you come down, just let me know, and you can go to sleep. I was like, all right, cool. So I stayed high for a few days, and that was when it all began, was, the carnival.
So no one in the carnival told you about the potential pitfalls of addiction?
No one. The carnival was fun. The drugs were fun at the time. Turns out, whenever I saw my psych doctor like a few years later.
Oh my god, okay. We gotta move that one. Yeah. We'll just edit that out. That's probably not YouTube. My apologies, YouTube people.
Whew, okay. Okay. So a few years after I left the carnival and became homeless again in Austin, I was put into a psych ward, and they told me it was because whenever I was younger I was put on Adderall that I went to methamphetamine for my ADHD, and it helped me stay focused, but it wasn't like I needed to sleep most days, so that was like the only the breakouts were the true downfalls of methamphetamines that I had, because Adderall is just basically meth but with a different ingredient. So yeah, that was why I used and how I got to using. I've been sober a few weeks now, because
Congratulations.
thank you. I was sober for 2 years, and then my biological mom told me she was going to come in town. Then I relapsed a week before she got here, and then I got clean again, and then I relapsed at least once a month since.
I'm sorry.
It
happens.
It happens, and it was pretty hard. It is pretty hard to stay sober. I have a good support system now. I'm starting to see a peer support at LifeWorks, and she helps me through like the drug usage because she's a recovering addict as well.
Good. So now it's helpful when you talk to somebody that's been through it.
Yeah, definitely helps.
Yeah, sometimes someone who's like in a church setting and they've never even been exposed to it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they can be like, "What are you going through? What do you mean you have a hard time stopping? Just say no."
Yeah.
Just say no.
And it's not that easy, you know. You can, like, at first it was easy. It's like, no, I don't want it. But now it's like, I do want it. Like, the city and the country sucks right now. I want it, but I'm gonna say no.
Have you found alternative substitutes that have helped with
caffeine and cigarettes?
Caffeine
and cigarettes, yeah. Those have been my go-to here of late. Whenever I started working at Starbucks, that's whenever the caffeine started, and I was drinking a lot of coffee.
It's all good. There's no panic with organic.
Yeah, right?
So we start using the battery acid and the rat poison.
Exactly. That's when it starts getting serious.
Okay. If you were to talk to your younger self or to somebody that's going through a hard situation right now, leaning towards possibly running away, doing things that you've struggled with yourself in the past, what advice would you give somebody?
So, I want to say don't do it, but yet again, I can't say that because I am who I am today because I did it. I would just tell them, make sure it's the right decision for you and make sure that you need to do it, because if you're being abused and neglected or whatever it is and you're old enough to understand this, it's okay, but also seek help. You know what I mean? Like, I get that you don't want to be in that situation, and I completely understand, and I've been there, I've done that, but it's not the best option. It's not. There's people to help you, there's a lot of resources, there's a whole bunch of different things, and you can find help 100%. You can find the help you need in Austin. That is why I came back. So, I mean, yeah.
Well, Kayla, is there anything else you'd like to say? Anything? Shout outs to anybody or anything like that?
When this is posted, actually, I'm going to share it to my page. So, no, I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Well, thank you again, Taylor. Thank you so much. Thank you. And I wish you the best.
Thank you.